This all a secret from Jennifer and Jack.
Yeah.
Did someone say my name?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel again, where we're going to do another recap of Days of Our Lives for today. So today is June 18, 2024. So it's the day before my baby's birthday. She's gonna turn 5, so we have some celebration planned. Of course, I'm still gonna give you guys another episode recap tomorrow regardless, but yeah. So today's episode, I feel like after watching this episode, I had a mental check. I think if anybody watches the episode today, they learn something from it mentally, like some self-reflection, self-introspection, because it was all about mental wellness today with this episode, right? So first off, we see Leo. He's sitting in the square, you know, he wants to do another therapy session with Marlena, right? So he calls her. So I don't know, the scenes with him and Marlena are just pure comedy gold. Pure comedy gold, right? So he called Marlena talking about, you know, he needs to see her, you know, he had one of those intimate dreams, right? Where he had some encounter with the Kelsey brothers, the guys that play in the NFL, right? So so Marlena said, if it's not an emergency, do not call this number, do not tell me about those things, right? She does not want to know unless it's something where he's having a mental crisis. Don't call the phone, right? So she hanged up on him because Alex was coming in for his session. So it seems like everybody is seeing Marlena today, right? So him and Marlena was talking about what happened at the mansion, just catching up because they haven't seen each other since that happened, right? So him and Marlena was talking about the demise of Konstantin, and he was saying that everybody's okay, you know, a little shaken up, but okay, but he didn't want to dwell on that. What he wanted to talk about was just everything that's happened between him and Teresa, and him and Kristen breaking it off, and him really realizing his feelings and really wanting to commit to Teresa, right? You know, the only reason why he didn't want to fully jump in with Teresa is because he didn't trust her, right? And then he has all this cash, so he didn't really trust her, and then her past with Brady and just her overall as a person, he felt hesitant to jump in a relationship, a full-blown committed relationship with her. So he filled Marlena into exactly what happened when he told Teresa his feelings and his reservations, and how she reacted. So he was open and honest about his feelings and just wanting to really fully commit, really want to settle down, and he think that Teresa is the one. Again, my opinion, Teresa, every time somebody wants to commit to Teresa always self-sabotage it. I mean, I don't know, she just damaged goods to me at this point. I really don't like the character, I'm sorry. But yes, anyways, moving on from them. So we see Chad and Julie at the Horton house, right? So they're, you know, talking about going down to the Chicago police station to find out the bank, sorry, where they're gonna find the box and see if it could indicate any clues to Abigail possibly being alive, right? So they're conversing, and they said, you know, they don't really want to inform a lot of people in the family, especially Jack and Jennifer. So upon that point, Jack came in, and it's good to see Jack, but Jack grew up, man. Jack really grew up. I mean, it's been a while since we saw him on the scene, but he came in, and, you know, they were happy to see him, and they were talking about everything that happened with Clyde being in custody, and he was so happy about that. But then he asked them about the box, because they were talking about the box before. So they're saying, you know, it's nothing. It's the time capsule that Julie has been trying to open, and it can't open. So she didn't want him or Jennifer to know about it. So Jennifer already know. They already talked about it. So what it's about, right? So they tried to play it off, and then they sidetrack him with, actually going to see his grandkids upstairs. So that's what he went to do, right? So they said that was really far too close, and they just was excited to really go down there and see what's happening. They just really don't want to inform nobody if it's really nothing down there, right? Get them hopes up. So we go to Maggie and Sarah. They were conversing. She was checking in with her mom because remember she gave her a sedative to sleep after everything that happened at the Kyriakis mansion with Konstantin. So at this point, Maggie does not know that Konstantin died. So Sarah is there to fill her in on that. She was surprised, but she said, "What happened? How it happened?" So Xander came in at that point. Xander said it's his fault. So at that point, he was about to fill her in on what happened, and with Teresa being taken hostage by Konstantin and all the downfall that happened while she was upstairs relaxing or resting, right? So Sarah had a call from the hospital and she went outside for them to have their moment. So Xander and Maggie, it was a really beautiful moment between them, because again, it's like mother and son. It's like the mother that Xander never had, because Xander has a quite a traumatic relationship with his mom. It are non-existent at this point, and then we don't really know anything about his supposed father, because we know Victor is his father, and how tumultuous their relationship was in the past when he was alive, right? So they were talking about everything that happened, and Maggie said to Xander that you really didn't have a choice. You had to kill him. So Xander said, of course I had a choice, because he was saying he could have shot him somewhere else and he would still be alive and in custody, or him, Alex, and Brady could have taken him down instead of him just going rogue and just shooting with the intention to kill Konstantin. So he said he had many choices, but then she asked him if he regretted it, and he said no, he deserved to die. So Xander has no empathy for that at all, right? So then they started talking about Victor, and Maggie said she's grateful for his devotion to Victor over the years, even though Victor has really treated him poorly. But then she also said that Victor probably did that because he didn't really get the opportunity to raise Bo. And Philip, he was sick for most of his childhood, so he really didn't have an opportunity to be a very brilliant father. So he took out his issues on Xander, right? So of course that was a tender moment between both of them. And Maggie said something to say Xander was more close to a son to Victor. So I'm just really excited to see when the truth comes out with Xander being the true heir to the Kyriakis mansion, because the Kyriakis throne, I should say, because I am so tired of Alex. I'm so tired of Teresa. I need the storyline to be finished like yesterday, right? So we see Teresa going in the square. She's heading off somewhere in the square. So Leo bucked up on her, and then Leo said, "Oh, you are Teresa Donovan, right?" And then he introduced himself. He's Lady Whistleblower. He's Leo Stark. He's Matthew Cooper. So then he wanted to get this inside scoop on her connection to, and she said, there's no connection other than he tried to strangle her, right? So then he went further into grill her on her relationship with Alex and how she bagged him. And that was it with them. He went off to his therapy session with Marlena, and then we are on to the next scene where Sarah goes downstairs and she sees Bonnie, and she tells Bonnie how Maggie is doing, and that she informed her about Konstantin's death. So then they backtracked and talked about Sarah's upcoming nuptials, and that's something everybody's looking forward to. So then we see where Bonnie asked Sarah what happened with Xander's mother, and that call that was supposed to happen, right? So Sarah said she didn't receive any calls, so she don't know what to think about that. So then an incoming call comes. She thinking it's Xander's mom, but when she went on the phone, it wasn't Xander's mom, it was somebody else. So apparently somebody has that number for years. So she's wondering, where's Xander's mom now? You know, where's her contact? So then we see where Leo is at his therapy session. Of course, it's always a laugh with him and Marlena. So he still is trying to find out why he's still so unlovable, right? You know, and everything that happened with Dimitri, is he not worth it? He's feeling a little insecure. So Marlena saying everybody is worthy of love. So what they needed to do was forget everything that he has went through, like traumatically wise with his mom, and just forgetting that she made him feel that way, you know, doing that consistent work to get out of that pattern of self-hate, self-loathing, right? So that was where Leo had to tap into. So of course Leo is looking forward to more therapy sessions with her, and of course Marlene is saying you just got to put in the work to change that behavior, change that pattern of thinking, right? So I'm looking forward to the therapy sessions with them because they're always laughing, they're always having a good time, and you get to see a lot of why Leo acts how he is, right? So then we see Marlena step out to talk with her secretary to set up more appointments for Leo, and then Leo is on the phone. He's making a call to Statesville, and he's saying you know, what are the visiting hours like, you know, because he wants to go see his mother. So maybe we'll see more interaction between him and his mom to see why Leo acts the way he is, and if he can really confront that source of all his abuse, right? And a lot of us in real life have to really face the person, if they're alive, face the person who really causes all this pain, really contributed to how we are today. So that was a really, really therapeutic action today in today's episode, right? So yes, after that we see where Alex meets up with Teresa. They're in the square, they're having lunch. Of course, Teresa asks how everything went with Marlena, and you know, they chopped it up. And then after that, Alex becomes honest and said, you know, Teresa, I really love you. So Teresa is taken aback at first, and then she's like, you know, hope you don't expect me to say I love you immediately. So he said no pressure because everything she went through with Brady, right, which was recent. So Teresa said no, I really want to say it. So she did tell him I love you back. I still don't believe that's genuine because she still has some residual feelings for Brady, but because of the money and everything that she's tied up into with Alex, she just wants to choose him, right? So he's really just a second best choice at this point. Brady she really want, because earlier in the episode she was having a conversation with Victor's portrait, right? And she was saying, oh, look at me, you know I didn't mean to hurt Brady, but I have to stick with the Kyriakis heir, and I have to stick with what's the best solution, what's the practical solution. And that's when Bonnie came in and said, oh, really? No. So that was where it ended with them. And then we see where Xander came downstairs after his talk with Maggie, and he's saying to Sarah that she's a very remarkably strong woman, right, considering everything she's went through. So then Sarah is saying to Xander, you know, does your mom have any other contact? Because the one that she had, you know, somebody else has that number. So he said no, but you know, he also said he has mixed feelings about it, because at the end of the day he feels like Maggie is more of a mom figure to him. So he really, either way, it's okay with him. So he's just looking forward to marrying Sarah, and that was that. we see where Maggie's upstairs and she puts on Victor's robe, and of course she's having a moment, she's having an emotional moment because of what she heard that Konstantin did to sabotage Victor and his plane, right? He's the cause of Victor's death. So of course she's having an emotional moment, and she looked at the picture with her and Victor and said, you know, she hopes he can rest in peace now that Konstantin is gone, right? So we see the other part where Jack goes to the pub. I think Jack has already spoken to Rafe about Clyde being in custody and what does that mean. So he went to the pub and Bonnie sees him and they hug and, you know, they catch up. So she was happy that Clyde is in custody and that must be relieving to him. So he was telling Bonnie that Clyde is in solitary confinement, so he feels good about that because now he cannot hurt nobody else like how he did Abigail, right? So then we see the last scene where Chad and Julie is in Chicago and they have the box, right, that Clyde was talking about. So we will see in the next episode or so if any clues are in that box indicate that Abigail is alive. So folks, just stay tuned to the episode and the episode recap. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, have a great day, guys.